when you're on a cold, wet training ground and the rain's coming in horizontally and hit you in the face, I thought there's worse things to be doing than this. So let's crack on. You don't go in the second row unless you really have to. I was back row. There was no technical subs. Everyone played 80 minutes. They had to go through the full game. There was no going off after 55 minutes waving at the crowd. Some guys sat on the bench 30 test matches and never got on. Can you believe it? Coaching young boys is quite hard, right? Because some of them don't listen, do they? You know, I played for a long time. I always gave my best.
Hi, I'm Arthur Dickins, and this is my Rugby Legends podcast. In each episode, I interview an amazing rugby player or coach to get their insight and advice for young rugby players just like me who are keen to learn and get better. In this episode, I'm really excited to be speaking with a true legend of the game, Martin Johnson. Martin's career reads like the stuff of rugby boyhood dreams. Leicester Tigers captain, England captain, Lawrence captain, Premiership winner, European Cup winner, Grand Slam winner, World Cup winner, and Lawrence Series winner. He's literally been there and done it at every level of the game. I hope to find Martin's knowledge and wisdom as helpful as I did. Enjoy. First, I just want to say thank you so much for being on our podcast. I really appreciate taking the time, Martin.
It's nice to get out, Arthur, although I haven't got out, but you know what I mean.
So, firstly, Martin, what did you make of England's autumn internationals?
Well, when you win them all, pretty good, isn't it?
Of course it is.
And beating the All Blacks is always good, right? Because it's pretty rare. And even, okay, it might not be the greatest All Blacks team, but there's no bad All Blacks teams. So that always takes some doing. And I think the good thing in that game, right, they went behind early, didn't they? 2 tries. And what can happen when you concede 2 tries early on? You can lose a bit of confidence, can't you? Lose some belief. But they came back and won the game. And who was key, do you reckon, in helping them come back there? Did you watch it?
I did. I was actually at the stadium on that day.
Yeah. Cool.
Who do I say key? I'd probably say for Marcus Smith off the bench. I thought it was brilliant, made a big impact.
Yeah, but who got them back in the game before half time?
Fraser Dingwall scored, didn't he? And Ollie Lawrence.
Who dropped 2 goals?
George Ford, that's it. George Ford.
You want to talk about tries, which is cool because everyone wants tries, but sometimes you need to just get back in the game. And those 6 pointers got them right back in the game before half time, didn't it?
It did.
So at half time, they could say, wow, probably haven't played our best, conceded a couple, but we're right in this game. And makes a big difference psychologically, those points. So I thought he managed the game really well there. And eventually they won it. They won it really well, but that could have gone another way, right? It doesn't always have to go like that if you don't score points at the right time. So I thought that was key. But yeah, good autumn. I went to the Argentina game. That was a tough game, right? Argentina always
Very
tough.
quiet.
Yeah. And, England got away with a Jomo's try, sort of ball bounced right, and they scored another good try, but it wasn't easy. So, but it was good. I think it was generally a good autumn. Played lots of guys. So there's lots of competition in that squad now, isn't there? For places, which is always good.
There is. Thank you. And which players would you say stood out for you?
Well, George Ford, I think, in doing that and managing the game, because everyone wants to talk about glamorous stuff, exciting stuff, and, he did this and did that. But number 10 and number 9, they've got to manage the game for you and get you in a place for everyone else to help you win the game. So I thought that was outstanding, him doing that. Thought Benel was very good. But yeah, I thought generally the England squad is on the rise, and with plenty of depth now. Because some guys weren't even there, where there were some injuries as ever. Some good performances. Some young guys came in and played as well. So yeah, I think it's looking okay. We can just keep some key people fit.
Yeah, we've nearly got a bomb squad now, which people are calling a POM squad.
A POM squad. Who do you think played well over the autumn?
I say Ben stood out for me and George Ford mainly.
Yeah. Played with Osa on the wing. It was all right. Everyone had their moment. I think for those players now, some are definitely more experienced than others, some more established than others. Everyone's going to think, right, I want to be in that squad now. I want to be in that team, that starting team, or the 23 at least. and I've got to play really well and work really hard and all those good things to be in there because the coach has got lots of options, which is great. It's competitive squad, probably not been that competitive for a long, long time.
Exactly. And what are your thoughts on the England prospects for the Six Nations?
Yeah, well, who's the top two teams in the Six Nations have been for the last few years? France and
France and
Ireland.
Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got I'm just thinking, who's our games? We've got Ireland at home, haven't we?
We have.
Ireland at home, France away, Scotland away, Wales at home, Italy away. So some big games there, obviously. Got to win your home games. France away is always very tough, but that's a challenge, right? You got to go there and try and win. So interesting Six Nations again. Everyone's saying Ireland aren't great. They'll still be difficult, right? They'll still be difficult. They'll still be very good. I wouldn't ever not think that. So yeah, I think our prospects are good, but you get it wrong on the day. They're only one game. You get it wrong, and suddenly you lose one. That's difficult. So hopefully, I think what happened last year, everyone lose one. England, Ireland, and France all lose one. Yeah. Could be something similar to that this year if everyone plays well, but you never know. That's the joy of it. Have you got tickets to any of the games you're going?
I don't think so, but hopefully when the Six Nations come round, hopefully we'll find something.
Yeah, I've only got 2 home games, haven't we? So it'd be harder to get a ticket. Ireland's always a big ticket in Wales. So we'll see.
How about you?
I'll be doing BBC, so I'll be doing another game. So I'll going to Rome to do Italy, Scotland. I'm going to go to Wales 3 times. Don't laugh. Yeah, it's good though. I enjoy it. I enjoy going to Wales. Good. Great atmosphere.
Thank you. And when you watch, say, England v New Zealand, do you ever miss it?
Do I miss it? Yes and no. Could I watch it? I think, oh, that's hard. Did I ever do that? Did I get stuck in with those big boys? But then another bit of you thinks, wow, I wish I was still doing that, because it's quite, you're very privileged to run out at Twickenham, full house, get stuck in to the opposition. Maybe don't think so at the time. What do you think people feel like when they run out against the All Blacks? How do you think they're feeling?
Very nervous.
Nervous, yeah, a bit anxious, amped up, ramped up. To all of those, yeah, it's a good and bad feeling. It's weird because it's good and bad, right? Because you're nervous, you're anxious, you want to play well, you want to win, all those things. So it's it's a lot of adrenaline going about. When they open the doors at Twickenham and you hear the crowd, pretty awesome though. A lot of adrenaline. Yeah, it's cool.
What did you love most about playing rugby?
I don't know what I like most. I like most things about it. I like being in a team. I like the game. I just like the very nature of playing the game. I like training. I enjoyed the training for it and getting ready for it. And at the time, again, it's like running out to play the game. I enjoyed the challenge of it and trying to be good and then trying to be the best. If we can win our games and be the best in whatever it is you're doing. If you're playing for your club, try and win the league. Playing for your country, try and win There's only 5 nations when I started playing. Did you know that? Did you know it was only 5 nations when I started playing? It was only, it wasn't 6 nations, it was the 5 nations. Italy weren't even.
That.
No, I'll give you a history lesson. I'm old. Italy weren't even in it when I started. It was the 5 nations. So you're trying to win that and trying to win the tournament or win a Grand Slam even, or a Triple Crown or something. And then try and beat the big boys from the Southern Hemisphere, try and beat Australia or New Zealand. So I enjoyed all of it. I enjoyed the challenges, the camaraderie of it with your teammates. And, you played, you got to play today, didn't you, with your mates? Was it good?
Yeah, I did. It was very fun.
Yeah. Do you know what you get to do when you're my age?
What do you get to do?
You get to watch kids, and then you get to talk about games you played in a million years ago. So I was at the Argentina game, and there were some Argentine guys there. We got chatting, and they all played. And this guy said, "Oh, I played for Argentina in the 1980s." Have you ever heard of the 1980s, Arthur?
I have in history.
Have you ever watched any rugby from the 1980s on YouTube?
I have not.
When you've got a minute, just watch it, because that's all you'll watch it for. Very different. I played against this guy in 1989 when I was in New Zealand. He played for Argentina. I was playing in New Zealand. I played a club game. I played a provincial game against him. So wow, what's that? 36 years ago, and then we meet at Twickenham and we start talking about the game and having a laugh about it and everything. So that's all we get to do now. Talk about it, like what happened in the olden days.
And what would you say made you successful?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I didn't mind. I didn't think it was hard work. Yeah, of course, sometimes your training is hard work, right? And you have to work hard. But I didn't dread it. I enjoyed generally going training, doing all those things, trying to be good. Because if you've got a chance to be good at something, you're quite fortunate. Yeah, you've got a chance to be in good teams and go through those levels. So I enjoyed it. I sort of appreciated that it wasn't the worst thing you could be doing. You know, when you're on a cold, wet training ground and the rain's coming in horizontally and hitting you in the face, I thought there's worse things to be doing than this. So let's crack on. So I didn't mind the hard work, quite relished it in a way. I guess I grew up in a sporty family, so I grew up playing rugby. I had a natural affinity to the game. I watched it a lot as a young boy, so I sort of knew what was going on. I think that helps. You sort of knew what you were trying to do. All those things, I think, and being big, that helped. Do you want to be a second?
When you were younger, how old were you when you started playing rugby?
I didn't play till I was 11. Well, I didn't play club rugby. I was playing football on a Sunday. And I played when I went to secondary school. We played school rugby, state school, from 11. So that's when I first started playing. And we'd play both. A lot of our guys would play both. We'd play rugby, say on a midweek, and then Saturday might be a football game, and then maybe a football game Tuesday and a rugby. So we had good PE teachers, and they took us to games and we played. So I started when I was 11. Then when I was 14, I started playing club rugby on a Sunday instead of football, and went from there. Yeah, so I was only 11. But I didn't play from age 4 from 11. But I used to run around with a rugby ball a bit in the garden when I was younger. But I think playing any sport when you're young is good. Tennis, basketball, they're all good for movement and hand-eye coordination, all those things.
And when you played rugby when you were younger, were you always a second row?
No, of course not. You don't go in the second row unless you really have to. I was back row. I thought I was a number 8, right? Because that's where it's where the cool kids are. So I played number 8. I thought it was a number 8. So I loved playing number 8, getting the ball, running about. Then when I got older, I realised I wasn't probably quick enough. I was too tall and lanky. Go into the second row I went, never to come out. Never to come out again. So, yeah, I played back row. That was cool. But I had to be. But then when you get a bit older, you appreciate actually second rows about hard work, right? You just got to graft. You have to do everything: scrimmage, ruck, maul, line out, catch kickoffs, chase kickoff, tackle, all that stuff, all that good stuff, right? And sometimes, very, very occasionally, you might even get the ball. When I played, it wasn't like now. Second row never really got the ball, right? No one passed to us. So it was just a life of hard work. So for 10 years, I never touched the ball, Arthur. Just had to push. But then the game changed a bit. The world changed. But yeah, no, I was a back rower, then a second rower, right? I'm a second row, tall and slow.
And which was the best team you played in?
I was lucky to play in some great teams, some great club teams, some very, very good England teams, good British Lions teams. But I guess because we'd been together so long and we had such a good group of players and people, the obvious answer is the right answer there is probably that England team around 2001, 2, 3 that eventually won the World Cup, because we played a lot more together. Lions, like the Lions 97 team was a fantastic team, but we only went on tour once. We'd played together for years. So think how good we could have been, but we didn't get that. We didn't get to do that. So that England team probably, because we were together a long time, some great, great players. And we just got to work at it and get better, because the more games you have and the more training you have, the more experience you have. We didn't win every game. We lost some important games as well, and they were disappointing. But then you learn, okay, don't do that again, because that wasn't cool. Losing there wasn't cool. Let's try and win. And we eventually got there. That was probably the answer.
Thank you. And What would you say was the one skill you had to work the hardest on?
Being nice, being not natural. The one rugby skill, I'd probably say being big is your agility, right? Your footwork, because you need to move your feet in all sports, right, at all times. So if you're second row, you've got to be agile still because you've got to do line out, you've got to move in the line out, you've got to try and move your feet to tackle, all that sort of stuff. So agility. So when you're big, it's, if you're playing a small guy, you're going to get stepped. They're going to beat you for pace. So trying to keep your agility. And when it's muddy as well, like this time of year, what was the pitches like today when you played? Was it a bit wet and muddy?
It was wet on the ground, but it was and muddy, but it wasn't raining.
Okay. You don't see so many muddy pitches anymore, but you used to play on muddy pitches, so you could hardly move. You were like stuck in, 4 inches of mud. So yeah, your agility, your ability to move and footwork and all that sort of stuff, you need to work on that, right? Because even the big guys need to do that too. So, and then probably strength work as well. Not naturally hugely built, so I had to work on that as well. When I was, so because you need to be, every rugby player needs to be an all-rounder. It's a game where everyone does everything, so you have to work on everything. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed fitness work. I enjoyed the training. I enjoyed trying to get better, which was okay.
And when you talk about strength work, what kind of exercise do you do?
Well, just in the gym, because nowadays there's gyms everywhere, right? Everywhere's got a gym. There wasn't many gyms when I was young. There really wasn't. There just wasn't. Weight training wasn't a big thing. So we didn't really start doing it properly till our 20s when the game went professional. Now everyone's in the gym, can go on the internet and get all this advice about food and all the rest of it. It wasn't around when I was a kid, so it was all new. So what sort of exercises? I think big, strong exercises are all good, doing squats and deadlifts and all those things to make you strong. They were, I wouldn't say I always enjoyed doing those, to be honest, but you have to do it, right? They were hard. So when I retired, I thought I don't have to do any more deadlifts. But yeah, you got to do all that, and because when you're out on the field, right, you don't want to be, at the end of the game feeling weak and all those things. So you've got to do all that work so you can play for 80 minutes. Because we all used to play for 80 minutes. Wasn't many tactical subs. And even when I started playing, you couldn't go off unless you're injured. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
No, do you know they make all these tactical subs now? You couldn't leave the field unless a doctor said you were in that much pain, you have to leave the field. But there was no tactical subs. Everyone played 80 minutes. They had to go through the full game. There was no going off after 55 minutes waving at the crowd. So yeah, you have to work hard at all aspects of your fitness, your endurance, speed. There was no point working at my speed, Arthur. It was beyond help. So I just had to make sure I was fit so I could keep going for the full 80.
So was there no pom squad?
No pom squad. No. No one knew what. In those days, some guys sat on the bench 30 test matches and never got on. Can you believe it?
Jeez.
Never got on, so they never got their cap. Like now, people get on for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, all the time. Some guys would turn up week in, week out for England, and they just sit on the bench and never get on. So yeah,
Jeez.
it was different.
And who would you say is the best player you've played with or against?
Oh, that's so difficult in rugby, right? Who's the best player? What was it? Do you play a position, Arthur?
I played fly half.
Of course you do. Of course. So you need a good fly half, right? We talked about George Ford. You need a good scrum half, but you need a good everything, right? What don't you do on a rugby field, Arthur?
Probably get in the scrum.
Get in the scrum, get in the line out, get in many rucks. Yeah. You need someone to do all that, don't you? So you can have the ball and look cool. So how do you judge prop forward against a winger, against a fly half as who's the best player? Difficult, isn't it?
It is.
Difficult because they all do different jobs. So I played with some great players. I played with Johnny Wilkinson. I played with Rory Underwood, who scored. I think he's still got the record. England tries. Has he still got the record? I'm not sure.
I think so. I think, yeah.
Yeah. I played with a number 8 called Dean Richards, right? Who was a massive guy, little bit of a belly, couldn't run very quick. But if he got hold of you, Arthur, it was all over. So he was a brilliant player. But he enabled other players to play. He'd win the ball and he'd get the ball to people who could run with it, like Rory or like you, who could pass it and all those things. But it's hard to judge who's the best player. I played against a guy called Jonah Lomu. Have you heard of him?
I have indeed.
He was freakishly quick and big and strong. He had agility, could run very quick. So that was very difficult. I never got anywhere near him. And he scored big tries against us. So he could change a big game. He could change a test match just by himself. And there's not many people can really do that. A few very, very good players. So he'd be up there. But I really struggle to say the best player, because I also love the guys who aren't the most naturally talented guys, right? So what do they have to do if you're not the most naturally talented guy? And I'm probably one of them, to be honest.
Work
What do
harder.
you have to do? Work harder. Arthur, go in the scrums, Arthur. Go in the rucks. Go in the mauls. Get stuck in. Throw your body in there. Win a line out. Chase a kickoff. Yeah? So I like those guys too, who just worked hard and just got stuck in. And when things were tough, what did they do when things were tough?
Dig
deep, work harder, man. That's all you can do, isn't it? Yeah, I like those guys too. And there's loads of those guys. So they're all good guys, right? So I never pick anyone out, because I play with so many good people.
Thank you. And what would you say makes a great captain?
Having a good team. It's the easiest answer. Seriously, you have a good team, they're all going to play well. They know what they're doing. They think about what they're doing. They train well. They prepare well. They're committed. It's all right, isn't it? Are you playing 15 aside yet? Or are you playing?
I think we do that next year, so 13 aside or 14.
Yeah. If you've got 13 of those or 15 of those or whatever the numbers are, you can be okay, aren't you? Because everyone wants to win. Everyone's doing their job. Everyone's talking to everyone, communicating. This is what we need to do. I need this, I need that, whatever it is. If you have a good team, you're a good captain. It's hard. If you haven't got a good team, doesn't matter how good a captain you are. Yeah, you've got to set an example. There's times when you'll make decisions and you get some right and you'll get some wrong, like everyone else. But yeah, play well, have a good team with you. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, and just generally set a good example, right? If you want to be this team, then you have to set the example. We're trying to win. We want to work hard. We want to do this. This is what we're going to do. I think people think captains, they can be inspiring. Cool, they can. All your players need to be inspiring, right? You need to look at guys who don't say anything and you think, wow, what a good player. I'm going on playing with him. And I was lucky most of the time when I played, I had 14 guys. And hopefully they thought the same about me. I had 14 guys who thought, yeah, I'm glad I'm playing with this guy, because we're going to need it today, because we're playing someone good.
Speaking of teams, as a second row, which position on the rugby pitch would you say you rely on the most?
Yeah, rely on props. You haven't got good props after it's all over. You might be the best 10. You might be the best number 10. Yeah, in your town, your county, your region, your country, the world. But if your scrum's going backwards, yeah, you're not getting any line out lift. It's hard work, man. I think front row forwards, hookers, props, they're always man of the match for me, because they've got to do that real hard work. Right? Second row's hard work, but not compared to front row. Front row's where the grafters live, man. So yeah, you got good prop forwards. It gives you a foundation.
That's what David Flatman said.
Of course he did. Did he say he was a good prop forward though?
He did not.
He was. I'll give him that.
New captains at club, international and Lions level. Is there a difference between them, and what did you find most challenging?
Yes and no. There's a difference, because obviously with a club team, it's every day really. When you're professional anyway, so you're in there. The Lions is very special, but it's very short. But yeah, the challenges are the same. You want the team to perform. You're trying to win games. The intensity increases. Did I see you interview Charlie Hodgson?
Yes, I did.
That was you, wasn't it? And I caught, there's a clip came out, and Charlie was saying about just everything gets more intense as you go up the levels and all that. And he's absolutely right. So it's the same for everything. Everything just gets magnified. So it's just the same job, it's more intense. but less of it, less Lions, less international, then more club. But it's similar, but of course different. And then those teams will work a little bit differently. There's different people in them, and have different ways of doing things or whatever that is on and off the field. And it's all cool because being different is okay. It just gives you a chain. Right? You just have to adapt to it. It's fine. But yeah, it's all good. But again, same thing counts, right? You need good people first, good players, and off you go.
And what would you say makes it harder?
The Lions is different because you've all got to come together very quickly. You all play for different clubs and different teams, different countries. So you've all got together and you haven't got a lot of time to get ready. Nowadays, everyone does so much preparation that they're used to sort of weeks together before they play. So you haven't got a lot of time with the Lions. In England, it's harder because you're playing international teams as well, right? You're playing the top teams in the world. You're playing the All Blacks and the Springboks and all the rest of it. So, but also it's easier because you've got better players. So both, but for most things, there's good and bad. There's not bad, but it's just different. There's positives, negatives. People will often say, I don't know if you've heard it, that when you play at a higher level, in a way, it's actually easier because you're playing with good people. You're playing with good people, and they know what they're doing. So as long as you can handle the pace of it and the intensity of it, you just need to do your job. And there is some truth in that. So like I said, that England team we had by 2002-3, everyone knew their job. Everyone's doing their job. So really, you just turn up and do your job, and 9 times out of 10, we win the game. So the way captaining a team like that is relatively easy to captaining a young, inexperienced team where you've got guys who are a little bit unsure, a little bit new to it. So yeah, it's never a black and white answer really with all that. It's yes and no, most of the answers. That makes sense. Is that complete gobbledygook?
No, that makes sense. That's what David Flatman said as well.
Oh, I'm agreeing with David Flatman. I need to check this.
And what's harder, being a coach, being a captain, or a coach?
Being a coach, because you don't get to play. You don't get to play. So coaching's harder. I tried to coach. Well, I coached my boys' team for a couple of years. Coaching young boys is quite hard, right? Because some of them don't listen, do they? Some of them don't listen, don't want to listen, don't care to listen to yourself. So coaching's harder because you're not on the field. You've got to try and educate, motivate, all these sort of things, which is more difficult, right? So it's easier to run out there as captain and say, come on, boys, let's crack on and get stuck in, and off you go.
Thank you. And how did you deal with the media and fans judging you?
I just didn't really care about them after too much. Don't worry about them. I didn't play with as much media as now with social media. We had plenty of media, but it was different. And there wasn't as much internet. The internet wasn't as big. I sound really old. So everything's instant now, social media, blah, blah, blah. We didn't have the camera phone thing straight after the game. So we didn't have as much of it. But yeah, look, it could annoy you. I think good advice I always think is, look, when they tell you you're great,
Jealous.
take it with a pinch of salt. When they tell you you're rubbish, take it with a pinch of salt. Judge yourself, really. You know when you've done right, wrong, good, bad. Judge yourself. You don't need to look at the paper or your phone now to get yourself, because there's enough people out there. Anyone can say anything nowadays and get it. You can go on YouTube or go on whatever and say whatever you want. Doesn't make it valid. So you've just got to really stick to your guns and judge yourself and listen to the people you trust, like your coaches and your teammates and those sort of things. That makes sense?
It does. And were there any mantras you lived by as a player?
Any
mantras?
Mantras? Wow. Probably, but I didn't really think of them like that. I guess all that stuff we talked about. Work hard, train hard, be committed, get stuck in, don't back down, be there, all that good stuff that we like about rugby. So do those ones. Don't do the opposite of that. Try and do those ones. But I guess it just becomes what you do what you try to do. Don't always get it right. Don't always win. You try.
Thank you. And what's the biggest life lesson rugby has taught you that you still use today?
Well, that's a good question, man. Yeah, because rugby is about life lessons, isn't it? You try and tell people that. Yeah, and you get told that when you're young, and you sort of, what does that mean? But then you find out actually it's all true. Yeah, life's, you'll get out of it what you put into it. Generally, enthusiasm, being enthusiastic about trying to do something will get you a long, long way. Work hard, all those bits and bobs, all those things. They're all true. It doesn't always happen immediately. Bad things will happen to you along the way. That's how you sort of come through that. Having teammates with you, being a teammate for people who need it, who need a bit of support at the right time, all those things, are what it's all about. And we have that in rugby, don't we? We have it every day in rugby on a smaller scale. When you're playing the game, back your teammates up. Then it might be something on a bigger scale, right? It might be a life issue for one of your teammates and he needs a bit of support, needs a bit of help, needs some mates. He might just need his mind taking off something and a laugh, right? You're always laughing, aren't you? You always got a
Yeah.
face. When you play, people, it's got quite serious now. Everyone's very serious. We were always having fun when you play, right? When you play and train, you're always having fun, aren't you? You try and find the funny things in it. And you sit there at the end of the game and you laugh about some funny things that happened, right? Don't you? Or something someone said. Maybe someone said something a bit silly that was funny at the time. You couldn't laugh because it was a serious moment. And afterwards you go, do you remember him saying that? And you all giggle. Yeah. It's the same at the top level. And you sit there after an England game and hopefully you've won and you can just sit there and have a bit of a laugh. Someone got ran over by someone or whatever it was. You could joke about it and take the mick out of each other in a nice way. All those good things, right? They take the pressure off and they make it fun to be around people.
Thank you. And what are you most proud of in your rugby career?
Oh, crikey. Another good one. Good question. I know we've been asked some of these.
Thank you.
I suppose you can answer that with I won this and that. I guess I was lucky to play good teams. I was, at the time I knew it, and I know it even more now. I was with good teams. I played against loads of good players out there who weren't lucky enough to be in great club teams or international teams, and they might win 20%, 30% of their games, or whatever that was. And that's hard. Right? That's hard work. I'm probably more proud of. I played for a long time. I think I always gave my best. I always gave my best. Didn't always come out right. Didn't always play as well as you want to play, but I thought I never came off the game thinking, I could have tried a lot harder. I always tried my best.
That's very helpful. Thank you. And last question. Who of your rugby mates do you think would be a great guest on my podcast?
Oh, one of them. Any of my rugby mates would be a great guest on your podcast. Who have you had on?
I've had Richard Hill, which is good, Dan Bigger, Ollie Lawrence, Freddie Stewart, which is cool, Sir Clive Woodward, Steve Borthwick.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Unbelievable list of people you've had on there, but there's loads of other good people you've got. I feel like Will Greenwood would be good. One of them would be good because they've all got a different story to tell. Who else did I play with? Johnny, you never get Johnny Wilco on your podcast.
I think Dan Bigger said he'll connect me to, which is trying to.
Are you going to get Wilco on? If you get Wilco on, if you get Johnny Wilco on, I'll have to buy you a pint when you're 18 or a Coke beforehand, right? Or whatever you have. Yeah, but they're all good because they've all got. You have Dave Flatman on.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all good. They've all got a story to tell. They just do it in different ways. Yeah, all those guys, crikey. Jason Robinson, they're all interesting. Got different tales to tell. These are all old guys, right? They finished playing before you were born, probably most of them. Yeah. So any of those guys, they're all interesting. Arthur. They've all got a good story.
Thank you. I'm actually interviewing Will Greenwood soon, which should be good.
You got Greenwood on?
Yes.
He's a very, very smart rugby player. Very, very bright rugby player. Yeah, he'll be good. Who else? Crikey. From Leicester, who could you have on? Austin Healy played for Leicester. Lewis Moody, could have Lewis on.
I've already had actually
Darren,
a song as well.
you've had Lewis on.
Yeah, I got him a week before his diagnosis, which is very
Yeah,
lucky.
okay. Well, he could still come on now. I play with a prop forward called Darren Garforth, right? He was a top man. He was the king of get stuck in, but I'm not sure he could get online and get on through onto your podcast. That's hard. Joking. He'd be a good guy because he's old school as well. He's old school, bit scary looking dude. Big beard.
Thank you so much, Martin. I really appreciate
problem.
taking the time to be on podcast. Thank you.
What's your favourite thing about rugby? Let me ask you a question before we go.
My favourite thing is probably I quite like just the social side of everything, like the match teas, the minute before a game, the team huddle before a game. I love that really.
No, that's a great answer because you're totally right as well. Because rugby's a social game, yeah. So before the game, after the game, having a bit of dinner, all that stuff, having a laugh. That's what people remember. So when you see your mates, this is classic rugby sort of chat. You'll see your mates that you've played rugby with at school, yeah, as you go through school. If you go to university or play club rugby, do you play club rugby as well or just school?
I play club as well.
Yeah. So you'll see those guys at various points in your life at weird times, right? Sometimes they'll be predictable at rugby events or whatever. Other times they'll just be weird times. And you'll see someone, could be anywhere, at the station, walking down the street, and they'll go, "Hey," and you'll go, "Hey, mate, right, yeah, blah 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 blah," and you'll talk about some of the things you did, right? And some of it will be rugby actually playing, and a lot of it will be not playing. It'll be things you did around the game, and all the fun you had. That's what you'll remember. Like I said at the start, I still see my mates that I played rugby with, with the Lions, with England, with Leicester, with my junior club. And we just have the same conversations. They're all the same conversations. They're just different games, right? Because some of those games people remember because they were England games. Some of the games no one remembers because they were for my club when I was 14. But we remember it. And we'll go, "Oh, do you remember that?" And we have a laugh. And that's what rugby's all about. That's what you'll remember. That's what you'll remember, mate. So, yeah, good. You better than me and these answers, man. Interview yourself. You interview yourself after.
Thank you, Martin.